What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wars in the Stars, episode 99. Today is going to be a Secret Invasion episode 4 recap. We're going to talk a little bit about the Ahsoka trailer that came out yesterday. We'll touch on question of the week, of course. And then we'll also talk about the Wolverine and Deadpool stuff. Looks really, really cool and interesting. But without further ado, Alex, how are you doing today, my man? How's your week been since we last checked in? I think our last show was Thursday. So how's life been?
Up and down, but moving.
Okay.
Moving. That's also kind of why the background's, again, like I showed you, it's kind of a bit of a scrumbled mess right now, but it's okay. We're working with it. Next time I'm pretty sure, the next time we're live, my background, everything will be different.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
I don't know how that's going to look. Guess we'll figure it out.
There we go. Me? Nothing much. Same old kind of for me. Kind of chugging along here. Just doing my thing, and yeah, not much new. The actors are on strike, right? As of today. Do you know?
I believe so.
Right?
Could be wrong. Let me quadruple check. Hold on.
Yeah, double check. Quadruple check.
It's happening today at midnight.
So the actors are on strike.
Poor Hollywood.
And the writers are on strike.
Yeah.
So
poor Hollywood.
I don't know how long these things are gonna last, but we'll see.
Who knows? All I'm saying is that I don't feel bad.
I 100% agree. I mean, I don't know if you saw it. There was like a Deadline article, I guess, and like one of these executives anonymously said, like basically the whole end game is like to make sure that these people like have to choose between their houses and striking, essentially. Like, do they want to keep their homes?
Yeah.
Like, because they're not getting paid. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Really, what's messed up about all of this is I think unions are a good thing, right? Obviously, I think unions are really, they're depleted in this country. It was interesting. We talked a lot about it in my history class. I think they were like, I think probably during World War II, I think it was, or maybe even pre that. It's like it's close to 80% of the country was a union. I think now it might be like, I don't know, 10 to 15%, maybe less than that is unionized. But the problem is just the company's going to win out in the end because they can wait. They're going to win in the end, which sucks. I hate saying that, but it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate the bullshit that like studios do and people do. I stand with the strikers and the people out there. It's like, well, if you stood with them, it's like they're gonna be broke. Like it's not, you know.
You stood with them, you pay them more.
And not even just studios, just people in general, like other famous people. It's like, well, they're not getting paid. That's the thing. So, yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how it turns out. But the AI thing, I think, is a big one for me. It's that shit can.
That and the pay, and streaming. That needs fixed too.
I mean, I just hope it's all revolutionary because it kind of needs to be, because right, they need to get paid differently than if we're gonna go towards this model. We gotta change the way we do things. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Alrighty, are we ready to talk about Secret Invasion?
Sure. Maybe this conversation will maybe last longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, it's my favorite episode of the show.
Yeah.
By far, I love this episode. Like, this was a really, really good episode. I think what it was I think the first 3 episodes were definitely a slow burn, but this felt like the amalgamation of that part of the story. And all those moving pieces finally coming to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm excited to see this now. Okay, we get the reveal about Rhodey. We get this whole thing with Fury's wife. And this episode, I think, is what the whole series should have been: shorter and more compact. I think, honestly, the problem with this show was it might have been a drag, because this
Yeah.
episode was the shortest one, and it felt more cohesive. We got
Yeah.
quicker to the point, and I'm like, oh shit, this is pretty good. And I think it had some of the best dialogue, some really good flashbacks, and just had an amazing cliffhanger, an amazing ending, in my opinion. Uh, I can't speak highly enough, and I can't wait to talk more about it. What are your just general thoughts on it?
Thought the episode was really good. Again, I think I'm with you. I think I like the shorter episode. Only what, 31 minutes of actual content,
Right,
and it felt like an hour. Like it felt packed.
right,
Versus these other episodes that are not packed. They are just slow burns. But I think again, like you said, it's kind of all led to this point. Honestly, this honestly felt like a season finale to me, like a
right.
big season finale cliffhanger. Now I am interested to see how the next two episodes go. But yeah, I mean, again, I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the absolute hell out of the Priscilla and Fury stuff. That was all really interesting. I'm not gonna say that I was blown away by the reveal of Rhodey being a Skrull.
Right,
It's like, wow, that's so interesting.
right.
Not like we couldn't tell.
Absolutely.
Um, the ending was really good. R.I.P. our boy Talos. But hey, Gaia died in the last episode and came back this one, so who knows? Who knows?
Oh, he cooked.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think I am still running into a problem with Gravik.
Okay, because I'm going to disagree with you here then.
Okay. I just like he's just like, to me, he's still just coming off as like generic bad guy number 4.
Okay,
I'm not getting the depth anymore.
okay.
We were getting some and then not really anymore. But yeah, that's like overall and a quickie what I felt.
I think, to me, Gravik, like this episode, a big thing with me for villains is like I have to feel like that they are like a threat. The Flag Smashers, to me, not a threat. I never felt
Yeah.
that. They killed, what was his name, Battlestar, and I'm like, okay, they should have, right? Because Battlestar was like a human, and they were super soldiers, so like that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? It's another good example. I mean, trying to think of these Disney Plus shows because they don't have a lot of good villains, I guess. Arthur Hara, like very good, compatible villain, capable, just in a different way, obviously.
Yeah.
But Gravik in this episode, we got some really interesting development, but I needed more of the what is he like in battle, right? Because obviously these stories, even though this is very grounded like Winter Soldier, it still has the fantastical element. I mean, he can literally grow a tree out of his arm. He can regenerate
Yeah.
essentially, right? So I need to see that. What is he capable of in a fight? And obviously, we saw that a little bit at the end of the first episode. But we also see it in this episode, right? He kills Talos. He's a menace. It basically almost kills the president, kills a lot of the president's guard.
Essentially starts World War III.
Essentially starts World War III again.
Yeah.
But also, they need to break the main character. And they broke Nick Fury.
Yep.
Gravik broke Nick Fury.
Yeah. My only thing, though, is he's kind of just turning into a powerful bad guy for the sake of having him be one. I'm still just not getting the depth. The thing that, like, you bring up Arthur Harrow. He, to me, is a great villain. He is like, if I were to put like all of the MCU villains on like a tier list,
right?
I'd say Arthur Harrow is an A tier villain. He's not quite
Okay.
S tier. I just don't feel like we got enough of him, but he's A tier to me. Sorry, I live with wild animals. But what made him so compelling was that he was powerful. We see he is powerful, but not on top of being powerful. you really understand his motivations.
Right.
Former avatar of Khonshu, all of that. I just don't get it with Gravik. I understand his motivation. I get it. But I also still don't get it. I don't get, like, they talked about, like working really, really hard to, take the Earth from the humans. But it's just like, again, but why? I'm still missing the why factor. Like, I get it. It's because if you promise your people a planet, but it's like, well, why don't you go get another one? Why don't you go to nowhere? The place for aliens. I don't know. I just don't get it. Maybe it's a lack of understanding, but like I just don't.
I think, to be fair, I think I could add. It's because we don't see like the interpersonal relationship Gravik and Fury had, if any, right? Or Gravik and Talos, we just get alluded to that. If we have that interpersonal relationship, we kind of then will understand why things unfold.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily see that with Gravik, right? We just know Fury has failed at this, right? But then also our rationale as somebody who has seen the events around, know that Fury was kind of busy with like protecting Earth, which was his first priority with the Avengers Initiative. I don't know if Gravik knows that. I assume he does, but I assume he doesn't care, right? Again, these are assumptions we're making. These are not questions that have been answered or alluded to. So, like, not seeing Gravik, younger Gravik, personally, like with that relationship with Fury or with Talos, we just get it alluded to in scenes. So that to me is interesting. And again, it's another thing like the MCU, it's not like Star Wars. Like the Star Wars is like for a long time it was a story about one family. It's become much more than that. The MCU has been a story about a bunch of different things, and it's impossible to catch up with everything. So sometimes you are just dropped into the middle of a story, and that's kind of what we are in. It's not a chronological thing all the time. Sometimes you got to piece the puzzle together. And I will say, I think the good thing about it is that we can have this conversation about Gravik, right? We don't have a linear story of his whole life, right? It's kind of our assumptions about what makes him tick, why is the way he is. But I will say, through 4 episodes, I think I've been thoroughly, I think I've been impressed compared to other villains. I mean, who is the villain in She-Hulk? I mean, Miss Marvel, like what is it? The DO, what is it? The Department of Damage Control?
Yeah. Or no, DODC, sorry.
DODC? And like that's your villain. I mean, Hawkeye, you got Kingpin, but besides that, what else?
Yeah.
So to me, I think Gravik is a step in the right direction. Not fully there, but like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things that, like, for me, again, it's like I see his motivation. I understand it, but it's like I feel like there's still something missing.
Right.
I'm missing the oomph.
Yeah.
Of his story.
And I understand that. I totally get that. I just feel like for me that it's worked for me. So like and it hasn't been like, off the chart for me, but it's been like good enough for like it works, especially since I don't have high expectations for villains of these shows. So I think Gravik has worked. I think Gravik would be even an okay movie villain.
Sure, yeah.
Like an okay movie, because I think he's slightly more compelling than a generic bad guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he's definitely done a lot more damage than like generic, like a Traykov or like a Taskmaster or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think I just need to see more before I continue to make an opinion on him.
I think that's totally fair. I think that's totally fair. Okay. Rhodey being a scroll, we kind of assume that, right?
Mm.
I guess just the only question is how long?
Yeah, they gotta answer this before the series is over. They gotta answer it. The series will be bad if they do not.
Well, Kevin Feige, because they did a thing in the Marvel.com.
Mm.
I was just looking this over. Kevin Feige said, and I quote, "We want to do a character nobody would think would be a scroll." I'm like, are you serious right now? You thought Rhodey is the character you thought we wouldn't think would be a scroll. My dude, that's the first character we thought was a scroll.
Literally, he was easily the like most obvious.
We saw that cast and we were like, yeah, he's a scroll, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and what do you know? He was a scroll. Wow, shocker. I'm really surprised. They really got me. That's how I felt when I saw it.
And Feige's like, whoa, how long has he been a scroll for? Like at the end, he's like, it's interested for fans to know. Go back and look and see how long he's been a scroll for. And I'm like, it can't be something stupid. Can it be like, oh my God, it can't be that long, right? Like, or it could be.
Never know. Watch it. Watch them pull something like ever since Iron Man 2, he's been a scroll.
Oh my God.
Dude. I'd freak out.
I would be like, what?
I'd freak out. Just remember, an emotional moment was Tony Stark's death would get completely undermined on Rhodey's behalf.
I don't. I'm really hoping it's not. I'm really hoping it happened post Endgame.
Bro, I'm telling you right now. Oh my God, I'd freak out if they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry, he's been a scroll for like ever now."
Forever?
Well, yeah, not like literally, but like
since we've met him.
Yeah, like a long time.
That would be crazy.
It would be, but honestly,
because he's an OG, because he was in the first Iron Man. He's been around since the beginning, character-wise.
At this point, though, this series needs something to like knock my socks off. To be like, oh well, yeah, I guess I didn't see that coming.
I'm gonna say Civil War. I'm thinking Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, if they're wanting to go back like that far, I guess, but it's like, dude, when you start to do that, you're walking very, 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 very dangerous waters. I mean, you are stepping on some major grounds right there.
Because then I have so many questions. Why at all does he go along with the time heist in Endgame?
Literally, yeah.
Why at all does he care?
I don't know. Again,
even if it is a scroll and it has all of Rhodey's memories, why does it care?
Right, yeah. Again, it's one of those things, man, that again, they are needing to tread like extra careful with how they take this because oh boy. Could you imagine the reaction if we were told, "Oh, he's always been a scroll"?
Oh, I'd be pissed because then it's like, what?
Yep.
But it can't be that, right? Because we kind of know that Armor Wars deals with Stark Tech. It deals with the downfall of that, and Rhodey has to fix that. So, like, it can't be, like, pre-Civil War. So that rules that out.
I have no clue.
But also, it's like, how the fuck did this happen to Rhodey? How? Like, where is he? Like, is he in the place where, like, They have all the other bodies. Is that where he is?
Look, and we've already established like those people got to be dead, right? Like those people have to be dying because they're inside that Russian thing. Hold on one second.
Yes, got it.
But yeah, they're dead, right? They're in a Russian like nuclear facility.
Correct. Not just that, they haven't had food or water.
Yeah,
Their corpses are dead.
they like actually have to be. I'd be I'd be surprised if they weren't.
Is Rhodey there? Like what? Like
Yeah. I don't know, man. They look, they're digging themselves a hole. They're digging a hole.
is he just chilling at Tony's cabin?
Oh, that'd be cringe.
Imagine it's just a post-credit scene after everything goes down and it's just Rhodey and Fury in Tony's cabin. And Rhodey's like, I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Like it's a gag. Like you know how they did the Hawkeye musical thing and I hated it?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's that? What if it's that? I swear to God, if it's that, I would be so mad.
Look, you're swearing it into existence, though.
I am. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be some dumb shit. Watch.
I'm gonna cancel my Disney. I'm gonna cancel my Disney Plus. I will not. I will not do with it. It's gonna be Rhodey in Tony's cabin.
Oh my god! Look, what? Let's be honest here. What is your borderline of like, whoa? They're doing too much with the scroll stuff. Who's that character you're just like, whoa? If they told us, oh, they were just a scroll from this point on, where would you be like, nope, I'm done with the series?
One of the original, the OG 6, obviously.
Oof. Could you imagine they said Captain America was just a scroll the entire time?
He was a scroll since World War II.
Hey, and you know what? They could easily hide and be like, scrolls have super strength. Captain America got super strength. So it's like, you know.
Oh my god, I couldn't imagine that. I would riot.
I straight up, I think I'd cringe back into a baby and just die.
I would be so upset.
Oh my god. But look, leave it to the MCU to do that, though. Leave it to the MCU to do that.
That would be crazy. Imagine just like we had no, and then they were like, "Oh, we're bringing in." Imagine they just said like, "You haven't had the real Iron Man," and then they just bring back Iron Man.
Disgusting.
That's gross. It's
disgusting.
Thanos was a scroll.
Oh my god. Because again, the more you say it, the more it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's so weird. Okay. Want to talk about Nick Fury? What are his next steps?
I don't know.
I literally have no idea.
He's literally taking L after L after L. And I guess it was also confirmed in this episode he didn't know Priscilla was a scroll.
Correct. Never knew.
Which is whatever. Okay. You're going to have me hard pressed to believe that he didn't know. But whatever. But yeah, let's think. In the first episode, Maria Hill dies. In the fourth episode, Talos dies. Oh my god.
Loses his wife, essentially.
Oh yeah, walks out on his wife too. Dude, like, what does this guy do next? That's kind of my thing. It's just like,
what if it's not Nick Fury?
What do you mean?
What if it's Talos?
Oh my god.
I'm doing too much now, aren't I?
Stop. I'd cringe. I'd cringe.
What if I'm doing too much?
It's too much. God.
I mean, hey, that's the questions we got to bring up with this show.
I guess.
No, but he's in a really weird spot. But also, like, if we're being realistic, like, at this point, he would call, like, I don't know, superheroes.
It's like we said last week. As I had this conversation with my manager, and he and I agreed. He said the MCU has been plagued with a problem since 2016. With every movie, with every series, the question will always plague: where's Doctor Strange at?
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that stupid magician can't make some sort of spell that can tell scrolls from humans? Or, and I even pondered this, and he even said, "Wow, that's even worse." I said, "Let's say this. Let's say contractually, Benedict Cumberbatch was like, "Oh, no, I'm only here for a certain amount of appearances." Fine. Benedict Wong is more than willing to come back. He came back for She-Hulk.
Absolutely.
So then that raises an even worse question for Phase 4 onward. Where's the Sorcerer Supreme at? Like you got it. Like you're telling me right now. Like my problem also I think with Gravik, going back to that, is like he's unbeatable now. From Fury to Gravik, he's unbeatable. He has extremis regrowth. He has the Groot stretch ability. He likely has the strength of Cole Obsidian and the abilities of that big frost dog from Thor. How is Fury gonna? How is he gonna? What are you gonna do there? Like you got to think the way that Aldrich Killian was killed in Iron Man 3 was he was blown up.
Quite literally from the inside. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you saying we're gonna have to do that again? How? I don't know. My worry for the series though, going forward right now, there's a lot to wrap up in these last 2 episodes. There's a lot. I got it. And listen, I'm not. Look, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a meme. It was a brunt of a joke of this series when we were like, "Oh, what's the lasting ramifications going to be?" Look, this. Oh! Okay. This series. Look, we joked about it, but the series does have lasting ramifications. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if the president in this series dies, and that's how we make way for Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh fuck! I didn't even think of that. That has to be it, right? That has to be it.
That has to be the lasting ramifications. Which, if anything, that is. Let's be real. That's rather lame. That's very obvious.
Well, it's kind of cool, honestly.
Could you imagine we see Harrison Ford in the series?
I'd go nuts.
I'd go nuts too, I guess. But you know what I'd be saying? I'd be talking about, oh my god, here he is. Let's hope this series doesn't flop too. You know, Indiana Jones, the flop of destiny. Oh my.
Okay, Doomcock.
Okay, sorry. Texting hasn't been invented in this household yet. But yeah, just I don't know. I think that will be the lasting ramification of the series. Will be that what's his name in the series? President Ritson dies.
Sure.
And I think post-credit scene easy is Harrison Ford, or maybe if they got the guy before who was playing Thunderbolt Ross, get him in there.
He passed away.
Did he pass away before the series was done shooting?
Not sure.
See, you don't know then. Who knows? Deep
Or just get Thunderbolt Ross's silhouette's not that obvious.
You just imagine they show some silhouette, some old guy, and they're like, "Who the fuck's that?" No,
yeah,
they could easily do something like, "Welcome, your new president of the United States, President Thunderbolt Ross."
Right. I guess. I mean, I just don't know how Fury's. I mean, obviously, Talos' daughter. What's her name again? I never remember. Gaia, right? I think she's gonna be the one who kills Groot. I think that's obvious.
Sure, yeah, I guess. I wonder if now that she is infused with all the powers like Gravik is.
Yeah, because I still have no. I watched that. I'm like, what did she just do?
I literally thought like it was literally a thing like, wow, you blink and you're gonna miss everything.
Yeah, like, cause it's so weird. Because like you have to kind of watch this show like back to back, like that way. Because like if you're just a regular person watching, I would have been so confused because it
Yeah.
literally just opens like right where we left off, basically. Besides the nice scene in the Paris restaurant, which was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Um,
But hear me out. Maybe it's only confirming should have been a movie.
uh, yeah,
Should have been
or
a movie.
yeah, just a Disney Plus movie. Just start doing that.
Look, question of the week will hit on that more.
Question
Okay.
of the week. We'll definitely hit on that more. Um, Gaia and Talos have an interesting conversation, right? Obviously, again, to me, it was a really good philosophical conversation. Like Talos is like brings up a really good point. Like, hey, if we stop this, they're gonna like give us a chance here, and we'll be in peace. Talos to me is so weird because like they keep calling him a leader, but we've never actually seen him lead. Again, it's the thing where like I think they've expected us to see these characters for like 20 years straight, but we haven't seen them in a very long time. We've just been told what type of leader Talos is, and we've been told he's a bad one by like most of the scrolls.
But he's been nothing but like the most logical person in this entire series.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, man. This series, it's really bad. Not only show don't tell, but what it or yeah, it's really bad at that. But what it is showing is literally the opposite of what it's telling.
Hmm.
It's like it don't make sense.
Right. I get that for sure. The Fairy Priscilla scene is probably my favorite in the series.
I was a little confused. I gotta be honest. I was
Okay.
I was a little confused by the scenes. I was like, it's like, what's the point of this? Like, I still,
My
I
thing is she's been a scroll since they got together.
yeah. I guess her story of like why she chose her person was cool, but like
Yeah, why again did she do it? Like
because the person that she chose was dying,
Diane, right.
if she wanted to live on, which
Yes.
like again, cool, whatever. But you know what I was thinking about? You know what I was thinking about? So I was like, okay, so the person that she is hosting is dying, right?
Right.
So I was like, what if they took an X-ray of a scroll impersonating somebody? Would they just look like a normal person
I
under?
think so.
Are you trying to tell me there's no bone structural difference between a scroll to
Well,
a
I
human?
just think it's like they're able to shapeshift so well that they're even able to change their anatomy.
I guess.
I guess they're able to change their physiology and anatomy.
I don't know.
So,
That's just what came to mind though. I was like that would be the big thing. Just like make a really big X-ray machine and put it around the
but
Earth.
Fury's just like, damn, okay, bye. Kind of. I mean, the most Fury thing ever.
Yeah, they both pretended like they were gonna shoot each other. Both missed. Which could you just imagine being the neighbor? You just like see your neighbor coming home, and you're just like, oh, that's nice. And then like 5 minutes later, you just hear like two gunshots. Just like, oh, and one of the neighbors walks out of the house. You're just like, oh. So his wife's like definitely dead in there now.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying though. The MCU is funny. What's funny about the MCU is there are so many things like that in the MCU where you're just like, if you think about like, but take a step back from the MCU, Could you just imagine being just a random person in the MCU? Just
Oh,
like,
I would love a show about that.
oh my god, a like what if show of like
Not even a what if, just like an
yeah.
actual person.
No, like I'm saying like a what if like animated show of like background characters. Could you just imagine you're just sitting on the toilet in 2016 in Sokovia, and all of a sudden you just feel the fucking ground lift out from underneath you, and you're just floating in the sky, and you see like Hawkeye come into your house and like pick you off the toilet. You're just like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
You know, like the squirrel from Ice Age, right?
Mm-hmm.
How it can never get the acorn. It's got to be a thing where this person is just always where the action is. Like in 20, when did the Avengers assemble in New York? Was it 11 or 12?
12.
12. They're in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're in New York for the battle in New York.
Yeah.
What are some other big events that happen?
Winter Soldier.
They're in Washington.
Yeah. Or what's it called?
Age of Ultron. They're in Sokovia.
Yeah. Or what's it called? You're in the Black Widow movie. You're just walking in a park, and then all of a sudden a fucking like building falls out from the sky above you.
Oh my god, Dreykov's. Oh my god, the Red Room. Oh my god.
Yes. Or what's it called? Can you just imagine you're like walking? This person is also an employee, like at the Avengers compound, and just Thanos' ship just shoots out, and then they just start blowing down on the Earth, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Or like no, he's like he has a house. He has a house that's kind of near the complex, and he's like, yeah, finally, and he doesn't know, and then all of a sudden his house is just like exploded.
But then he's like, okay, well, we got to go get a new house. I heard this cool place in New Jersey called Westview. He's a part of the Westview Hex. This man just can't get a fucking break.
That would be awesome.
Oh my god! And then
oh my god, with Moon Knight, he's literally in Egypt.
He's in Egypt. He's visiting. He's visiting he's going with his family. He's like, dude, I've just had a rough time. I wish I could just go back and restart it all. And then he just goes back. It's like, oh no, I wasn't being serious.
No, and then he's just a giant bird and a
like an alligator or whatever, crocodile fighting.
Fighting.
You're just like, god damn it, I can't catch a break.
Multiverse of Madness. There's somehow his variant is in the 838, and he's like,
God, man. Oh my god. Or he's like he wants to take his adventures to like he wants to go learn how to defend himself. So he goes to Cumbertage.
Oh my god.
The day the Scarlet Witch attacks. He just gets the ground blown up from him. He's just like, god damn it. Just once, dude, just once.
Oh my
god. Or
that'd be
like,
so good.
You could even start it back as far back as like Iron Man 1. Like he's an employee at like a Tony Stark, like the one building where the arc reactor where Obadiah dies at.
Yes.
He's just working there and he gets blown out of the building. Oh my god, dude. I would love a show like that. We need it, dude. We need it.
That'd be awesome.
We need it.
That'd be awesome.
Or oh my god. Or he takes a brief stint as the janitor at the school that Kamala Khan, like
oh my god,
Miss Marvel takes place, and a member of the GODC fucking like shoots him. Oh my god! Or oh my god, it's even worse. You go to like Spider-Man No Way Home, and he's just walking. He's a member of the apartment complex. He Green Goblin slams Spider-Man right outside his apartment door.
No. He's a construction worker where the Statue of Liberty is, and he's staying overtime.
He's like, damn it, I gotta make sure this project gets done. Hey, what's all that sound of going on up there? He just hears
and he's just watching as Andrew like saves MJ, and he's like,
oh, and then all of a sudden he like gets far enough away and he just sees the brand new Statue of Liberty just come crumbling down. Like, fuck, I got 20 hours of overtime for that shield.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about from Secret Invasion?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything that comes to mind. RIP our boy Talos.
Rip. I'm going to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10.
Sure. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Alrighty.
Good show. Good episode.
Good episode. We're going to take a little 5-minute break right here.
Because we got a lot to talk about.
We'll be back at 9. And
that worked out perfect.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye. Yeah. We back. Or at least I'm back. Just waiting for Alex here. And then we'll get back going. Get back going here in a second. Uh,
Whoa, pardon the tardiness.
Whoa.
Sorry. I was talking to my mom. Oh, spilled something on myself.
Okay. What do we want to talk about? We gotta do the question of the week. Do we want to talk about Ahsoka? What do we want to do first?
Let's talk Ahsoka.
Let's talk Ahsoka.
Let's talk baby. Let's talk baby Ahsoka.
Did you say babe Ahsoka or baby Ahsoka?
Baby Ahsoka.
Okay. Because either one, I'm not gonna say that.
Wow.
Nah, I'm joking.
You know what? I just got an ad on Amazon for these vitamins called Smarty Pants. That's what you are. You're Mr. Smarty Pants. When do we even begin with this Ahsoka trailer?
Well, it's good to know that Elon Musk is going to be the villain of the series.
Yeah.
I can't unsee it. He looks exactly like Elon.
Yep.
Just funny.
I'm honestly really confused. Ooh.
Okay. Whoa.
Really confused about the direction the series is going.
Okay.
We all know, Dave Filoni even said it, this is Rebel Season 5.
Okay. Right.
Which has got me a little concerned about Ahsoka. Like the character.
Right. Okay.
Because, she was not a big part of Rebels. She was a small part.
She wasn't a big part of... Was she even really in?
Maybe...
The World Between Worlds episode, right? And then that's really about...
Maybe in her total time with Rebels, maybe 7 total episodes.
Right.
Of the entire 73 episodes. So, and that's not counting like any times when she was Fulcrum talking through the computer, like actual on-screen Ahsoka.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous to see about her. I hope they don't overly focus on like Sabine or Hera or Ezra or anything like that. I'm just more or less confused about Baylan and the one chick. Shin. Oh my shin shoes. I don't know. Like I get that Baylan is a Order 66 survivor. Mm-hmm. He knew of Anakin, or maybe he knew him personally. Who knows? I'm getting the impression maybe a little personal because he said that Anakin spoke highly of her. Right. Which, I mean, come on now. You can't tease Anakin Skywalker in the trailer and then not get the, give me the impression that... Twice? Yeah. Come on.
They almost have me crying, bro. I swear, I was like, if they tease Anakin in this, like, if I see him, I will literally, like, bawl my eyes out.
Like, come on. Hayden's going to be in the series.
Oh, 100%. Like, 100%. I don't know how prominently. I hope.
You know what? I think I'd be more surprised if he wasn't at all. Right. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's my thoughts. I'd be more surprised that he isn't.
Oh my god, bro! I'm gonna go nuts when he goes, "Hey, Snips." and just a Hayden voice, I'm just gonna lose. I'm lose it. I'm gonna lose it right there.
Mm.
Because
It should only be said by Matt Lanter.
I don't know, man. Hayden saying it would be just different, bro.
Yeah,
I have a so this upcoming school year, I'm in a suite, so it's just four guys living together. So
Mhm.
like, if I'm in the common room, they're gonna be thinking I'm having like a serious meltdown because I literally just will be on the floor like
Mm-mm-mm.
crying, tears of joy.
But no, another thing, I'm not gonna lie, that has me just a tad bit concerned. What it is the fact that it is a 2 episode premiere?
You don't like that. You never like that. To be fair.
No, I don't, because it to me it gives me the impression that they're not confident in the series, so they're just trying to get it over with. The only time that I have ever defended it
Kenobi.
was, mm, I can't say I felt the utmost confidence from Lucasfilm from that. The only time where I was like, okay, it's acceptable here was Andor.
Right, because that was an arc.
That was an arc, so that made sense. It made sense that 3 episodes should come out. I
Wait. But from like a marketing thing, like perspective, it makes sense.
kind of. The thing is, you want your series to like be out there for a long period of time.
Right. It's still
If you,
7 weeks. Still 2 months.
I know, which I forgot it was 8 episodes.
I
could
don't
have
think it's
sworn
even been. I think it's 8. I don't think it's been. I assume it's 8.
yeah, I think it's been confirmed, but like not by like not
Not
majorly
well
like
enough.
no, not even not well enough, just like not majorly like talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But like even then, yeah, I guess 7 weeks still. It's just like you feel like I don't know. I feel like personally you would want to make sure that even if it is only one extra week, because I mean, as I'm sure you know, in the world of streaming, as soon as you're not coming out anymore, you're not talked about anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, look, we can all sit here and say things like Squid Games and Stranger Things were these massive blockbusters, which I'm sure they were. But who's
Last of
talking about
Us.
who? Yeah, who's talking about Squid Game still? Who's talking about Last of Us? Who's talking about Stranger Things? Who's talking about that stuff? No one.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. Yeah, who's talking about all that stuff? Not me. Because you know why? It's not relevant anymore.
We talk about the relevance. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's the relevance. So I feel like with a show like Ahsoka and like, come on, like a top 10 of almost every Star Wars fan's favorite character.
Oh yeah.
Top 5, top 3. You know, I feel like you'd want it to be longer.
That's fair.
Maybe that's just me.
That's fair. No, that's totally fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm not as worried about. To me, my excitement level for the show is like a 10. Like it's not even close. It's a 10. I haven't been this excited for something in a very like I can't tell you. No Way Home.
I'm not at a 10 yet. I think just
maybe Kenobi.
Yeah, I think I'm at like the Kenobi level right now. I think I'm like at like an 8 out of 10 on my hype. I'm really excited, but am I staying up 3 a.m. excited? Not right now.
I think I am.
Not right now.
I think I haven't been this excited since. I think I'm more excited for this than I was Kenobi. Because I think Kenobi, I saw some holes. I saw some problems, I think. This, I think, has the chance to be... Because I love Dave Filoni's Star Wars. And again, this trailer and stuff has brought up the discussion again. It's like, how good is Dave Filoni? And I'm like, I think anytime we doubt him, he makes something incredible. Anytime a little seed of doubt creeps in, you start to doubt him a little bit. But I think when he has his own characters, he makes the best stuff ever. Like it's like the best stuff. It's when he has his own characters, he makes the best stuff. There's not a question about that. He has his toys.
Except a gunslinger. Except that.
Right, but I'm saying like his babies. Like these are his characters, right?
Are you trying to say Toro Talican is not his baby?
I
Nah,
I am. I am. I am.
what? He's like a
I
Dave
am.
Filoni top 10.
I am.
Maybe top 10, bottom of the list.
Yes. Um, but I think he's gonna blow it away. And also I kind of hope so, because if this series is not good to really great, I'm starting to have questions about the Mandoverse, because that would be 3 projects in a row where I'm like, eh? Eh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, sorry. But no, I have confidence. In Dave we trust. Maybe that's what
Right.
I gotta get. When you would for my new room, maybe I gotta just get a big in Dave we trust sign.
Right.
Get a nice big bright LED board for it too. In
And
Dave we trust.
Filoni, we trust.
Like, it's not gonna be in Feige we trust. We don't trust Feige anymore.
Oh.
No, we don't. But yeah, I have the utmost confidence that Ahsoka is going to be great, because I think it is a Dave Filoni helm project.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like you said, Dave has those things. When he's pushed against a wall, he can pop out some good miracles. I think Rebels is probably in my opinion, his greatest showing of that.
I think it's his. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of Rebels. You know this. I will say it might be his most underrated thing.
Dude, it's untouched in my opinion.
It's
Untouched.
slept on.
I think Rebels, whenever we start getting some of those, look, Rebels is not a 100% perfect show. Whenever we
No.
start getting some of those wonky episodes, like remember, let's go back to season 2, we would get episodes like Mystery of Chopper Base, and then we'd get Twilight of the Apprentice right after.
Right.
It's just like, bro, like anybody who was questioning Dave Filoni's cooking ability, stop.
But to me, Dave like embodies like George's spirit. Like he does truly feel like George's successor, right?
Yeah.
Anytime I watch Filoni Star Wars, I'm like, okay, that feels like something George would make. Now, I'm not saying all of Star Wars needs to be like what George made, right? Because I think Star Wars needed to grow beyond that, and it has with things like Kenobi and Andor, the sequel trilogy.
Sure,
But
yeah.
there's still something so nostalgic even for us when I watch like something Filoni, because it just feels and is written and is shot like Star Wars.
It's Star Wars to its core.
Yeah, he gets it. Anytime he talks about it, even when he said, now he did say something in a promo for Ahsoka. He said Anakin's the greatest Jedi of all time, or something to that avail, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he gets it. Like he gets it. And again, people obviously, they want to take that as like, he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's also like a cut up clip from like an interview.
Look, at this point, if you are in 2023 and you are still taking interview like clips out of context, man, you got no right being on the internet.
Right.
Like you honestly have no right to even
He
like
probably does
have
not
a
mean
phone.
literally he's the greatest Jedi of all time. He's definitely the most important. Like the story of Star Wars is Anakin. Like it just is.
Yeah. But it's just like, dude, it's crazy because you're just like you hear all these people taking this guy out of context and whatnot. It also gives me bad flashbacks to that like Steven Spielberg interview recently.
Oh yeah.
Out of context, dude. It's just like, man, I honestly wonder what goes through some people's minds.
Right.
I honestly wonder what goes through people's minds when they're just like, I sound smart when I say that.
Yeah.
But anywho, wherever we just were, like,
yeah,
Dave Filoni, man, I got all the confidence in him that he's gonna make this show a bang. I have all the confidence in him. Look, again, yes, Dave has fumbled the bag once or twice, but I mean, if you look at what he hasn't fumbled, it's like, wow, you know what? Those one or two things aren't so bad after all.
Right.
Like again, let's not forget the people who are running with this story of Dave is not ready for this stuff. Like Dave Filoni is also the person who made like the Clone Wars, like all of it.
Well, look at his live action resume. The Jedi,
The Jedi, yeah.
the pilot of The Mandalorian, which I would say is very successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think his only live action fumble was the Gunslinger.
Yeah.
And that's just because you put like one of the most boring people in the focal point of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally a no name. It felt like, I mean, it
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah. It felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like Toro Callaghan was a background character that they made a main character.
You just felt like a human version of Colonel Meeber Gascon.
Exactly, yeah. I just like,
Just
yeah. I mean, I get like, again, I understand that, you know, again, I'll say it one time, I'll say it a million times. Dave has fumbled the bag, yes. But Dave is also, again, Siege of Mandalore, Mortis, Umbara, Twilight of the Apprentice, 0 Hour.
the Rebels finale.
Rebels finale. The Rebels, like, season 2 premiere. Like, Dave is responsible for so much good. And I'm going to say it. You notice a project like The Bad Batch, Kenobi, to a degree, Andor. You notice those are the shows that kind of feel a little bit too disconnected from Star Wars. It's because they don't have the big boy on top of it.
Yeah, and he is the creative head over there, right? So I'm sure, like everything goes like creative goes through him. But when he's attached to what you're saying, when he's like attached to a project, it's different. Yeah,
it's different because again, it's George Lucas Jr.
right,
who's like helming these projects.
Right.
He, in my opinion, maybe call this blasphemy, but I think Dave Filoni understands Star Wars better than George Lucas ever could.
See, now this gets into a whole nother thing. I really don't. Okay, this discussion to me is very similar to in sports when we have the GOAT discussion of a sport, right? Because it's really so subjective and it's hard to compare eras. To me, like it would be disrespectful of me to say that the creator of something doesn't know it as well as somebody else.
I mean, I just look, the reason why I say that though is Dave is more consistent than George. And what I mean, not consistently with good projects or anything. Like let's be real here. Let's say from The Mandalorian season 2 and onward, the general theme of these shows, apart from Andor, and I guess if you want to say a quasi Book of Boba Fett,
right?
It has all had the same through line: cloning.
Right.
Cloning. It is a recurring theme constantly. George, in my opinion, never could do anything like that. Any time where George would start to go on a good idea, he would completely switch directions and go somewhere else. And like, for instance, what comes to mind with me is just like the original trilogy. Now, granted, yes, you can make some defense of that, but like, look no further than the relationship of Luke and Leia from episode 4 to 5 to 6.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he didn't know what he wanted to do until it was time to cross that bridge. And Dave is more methodical. He plans it. He has planned it out, set moment for moment, scene by scene, line by line.
Absolutely. He's very Kevin Feige in that sense.
George, for a good majority of his Star Wars creation, was just like, well, I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be interesting. Let's make them siblings. I don't know why we're making them siblings, but we're gonna make them siblings.
But here's the thing, though. I just think it's so, because I can't stand when people say that. I heard somebody like the other day was like, Rian Johnson understands Star Wars better than George Lucas ever could.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. No.
How can you say that? That's so crazy.
There is a difference though between like saying Dave Filoni gets it more, or
I agree.
Like Kathy Kelly gets it more.
There's
a difference because Dave, as weird as it's going to sound, was groomed for this position. He was groomed to be the successor to George.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like from a creative standpoint, he was he was handpicked by Dave Filoni to be the next guy. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure we're going to hear about it soon in the next 10 years that we're going to get Dave Filoni's going to get a little Dave Filoni.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then that Dave Filoni in 40 years, he's going to get a Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
It's going to be a constant recurring theme that the
Yeah.
knowledge from George is always going to be passed on. But again, I always say this, okay? 9 out of 10 best moments in Star Wars or anything like that never have come from George. He has had had some major moments that were just like, yeah, George, that was really good. And then he also didn't like sand.
Yeah. No, I mean,
but like Dave, in my opinion, he consistently like not only gets the lore of Star Wars, but he knows how to build it. And George just seemed very like, well, I don't know, just make it make sense, I guess.
Well, I think the difference is, Alex, I think we just live. I think it simply comes down to this. George was making this story for himself. It was his story. Dave, I think more so now, thinks about the fans.
Yeah,
I think it's that simple, really. I think we're gonna boil it to this.
Also, though, I think for the originals, you could make that argument. I don't think so for the prequels.
Oh, I disagree with that. I still think the prequels are George telling his story.
And I think that, though, because think about Jar Jar. He literally has said multiple times in interview, well, the kids will love him, so we got to make him funny. We got to make him so funny that we give him galactic powers.
I agree with that, but like Attack of the Clones is still a political story.
It's a bad political story, though.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing, but it's still very George in nature. It's like still very George in nature.
Sure,
and they're just different filmmaking. Like I can't say that. I get what you're saying. I just can't say that.
Sure.
I just can't say that. I can't do it.
I can. George doesn't get his own product as good as his successor.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
How about that? And I think it's going to show in Ahsoka.
I think Ahsoka's going to be great. I really have high hopes.
We haven't talked that much about the trailer, but it's just because, like, it's not that there's not a lot to talk about from the trailer. There is a lot. Like, Sabine trained with Ahsoka at one point.
Master. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Very weird that they're kind of dropping some subtle hints that Sabine was Force sensitive.
I do not like this.
No. I'm interpreting that line of her calling Ahsoka Master more as like a dig at Ahsoka.
Right.
More than like a serious thing. That's how I'm seeing it.
Because she said it kind of mockingly.
Yeah. She said it. I don't know if you remember, but like she said it like how when Ezra called Kanan Master
right
times in Rebels, like very pokingly,
condescending, yeah.
And I got that from the trailer as well. Also trying to think.
I don't think Ezra's really going to be in any of this show.
Post-credit scene.
I think he'll be in season 2.
If it gets season 2.
Well, actually, scratch that. I do know Ezra's in this show.
Do you know some secret intel you'd like to share with the class?
Can't.
This is okay.
Online. I mean, it's online. I just don't want to share it on a public platform where people may.
Okay, no, I get you.
I can share some of it after.
But no, it's I don't know. I think I'm interested in the prospect that Sabine was trained not as a Jedi but as a fighter.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I felt like what more training did she need?
I have so many questions about like Sabine and how she fits into all this because she kind of like her homeworld was taken back. Well, also we learned that this takes place during that.
Yes, we were told the other day that Ahsoka and season 3 of The Mandalorian are concurrently taking place.
So it would make sense that she didn't give a shit about what was happening because
Yeah.
it's still very. It was like I was like very confused of like.
But big but. My thing is this, and it sounds like that. It sounds like I'm talking about the MCU right now. Where was Sabine during all this? You know, where was Ahsoka during the original trilogy? Where was anybody that we know from
Right.
Rebels that's going to show up? Where were these people? Now, again, just to preface, I know we're probably going to get this all answered, but like I was talking to my manager at work, and he was even kind of saying, he was like, I just don't buy into these shows. He was saying that he didn't buy into the shows about like Ahsoka and all that. He was like, because honestly, what I want answered more than anything is, where were you?
Right.
Could you imagine the Battle of Endor with Ahsoka?
And Luke.
Ahsoka and Luke take on Vader and the Emperor. Ahsoka on the ground of Endor.
Yeah.
Like
oh yeah, that's the big one to me.
there's
like
no,
where the hell was Ahsoka during that? If I'm Luke, I'm gonna be like, bro.
Yeah, if I'm Luke, I'm gonna be like, it's very nice to meet you. I'm gonna do the Miles Morales hand on the shoulder. Where the fuck were you the last like 5 years though?
Bro, I literally fought my dad.
Like, no,
I was your master.
I would even be like, you want to know something? Because you weren't here, probably close to 5,000 people died because of you. For you not being here. Just keep that in mind when we talk.
Because, like, where was she?
Dude, like, that's what I'm saying. This show.
Because post Rebels, we just have no clue.
This show, man, I'm telling you, it has to answer these questions.
Because Luke has to be in it, right? I feel like Luke has to be in it.
I think so.
Leia, even? Come on. Dave's not. Come on. You got it. You tell me Dave's not going to give us a scene with Ahsoka, Luke, Leia, and Anakin?
At this point, I wouldn't doubt it. But I'm just like, man, it honestly bugs me inside, like how little these major questions are being answered. And or what makes it worse? Or what makes it worse is when we ask these questions, and when somebody in the community, I'm not naming names, no lore masters will be dropped on this channel. It's not that important. Stop over caring about it.
Says the people who care about the stupidest minute facts on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll care about the dumbest shit on the planet, and then, like, we ask, like, a simple question, like, hey, where was Ahsoka during, like, major event known as Endor?
You know
what? Where is she chilling?
I give a pass for the Battle of Yavin. Hell, I even give maybe a little bit of a pass for the Battle of Hoth.
Oh, absolutely.
But Endor? You didn't try and tell me she was
Bro,
just stuck
what
on
is she doing? She's Fulcrum. She's literally a part of the Rebel Alliance. What is she doing? Where is she?
This is the problem with retroactive storytelling. Is, again...
also, I hope Ahsoka dies by the end of whatever this is.
Yeah, not to harp on what my manager said, but he even said it. He said that he loves Ahsoka, but Ahsoka is one of the worst characters for Star Wars. And I asked him, I was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, she's just a character that Dave Filoni will not let die.
No, Dave will never kill her.
He was like,
she's not going to die.
He said, just imagine the story of Star Wars. And all of these what questions, where, who, what, when, why. Imagine it's all just solved when she dies if she dies in Rebel Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Vader kills her on Malachor.
I will never forget when I watched that episode. And I'm watching that episode. I'm like at the edge of my seat. And then I after the episode, I'm like reflecting the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like... That's it? She's still alive?
Yeah, and then it's like, and then they bring her back in a really lame way.
I hate the World Between Worlds.
I like the World Between Worlds on paper. On paper, it's really cool. But in execution, it undermined what would have been a super emotional death.
And it would, I think, even make Vader's turn back to the light even more incredible.
I think, for me, I think, the World Between Worlds works for something like with what Ezra had to go through.
Right.
Like, he had to face the reality that no matter what he did, there was no stopping Kanan's death.
Right. And even if he did, he's going to kill everybody else.
Yeah. And even if he could stop it, everybody around him, including himself, would be dead right now.
Right.
Bam.
Which begs the question, how would it work if he pulled Kanan out?
Who knows? We don't answer questions here. We just make them.
Would he like Thanos snap like in that?
But no, it's just like that is something to me that I'm just like, the World Between Worlds works for that, for a good character progression. But I mean, I straight up am saying that like the World Between Worlds literally like undid someone's death.
Yeah,
Ahsoka should have been dead, and so I want
Vader should have sliced her in half.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I need a like top tier reason why she wasn't present for anything. I want I don't want like some small, oh, I was busy exploring the galaxy to find myself. Again, can you explain that to the people who died on that Mon Calamari cruiser? Because they got blown up by the Death Star. Explain it to them that, I was a little busy exploring myself, so I couldn't help. I couldn't help because I was a little confused if I wanted to identify as a Jedi or an unaligned Force user.
What would you think would be a good explanation?
I honestly can't think of one.
She was stuck on Malachor.
That's such a bullshit thing, though. What'd she eat? What'd she drink? I didn't see no rivers on that place. Did she eat the corpse of dead people? She hearing voices now? No.
That's the only thing I got, man.
Bullshit. If she's not stuck on Malachor, then no excuse.
Do you think Filoni will kill her?
No.
I think she's gonna die.
No, in her own series?
Not this Mandoverse movie.
Maybe. But even
because
then,
if she doesn't die then, when does she die?
Even then, Dave Filoni has teased, or he said that, like, when we hear her voice in The Rise of Skywalker, it didn't have to be because she was dead.
Then that would bring up even, like, more questions. Where was she during not just the original trilogy, but where was she during the sequel trilogy? What if in just the new Jedi Order movie, we just see, like, an old-ass Ahsoka just teaching kids on the side? And I'm like, what? Just be like, what in the movie theater is happening? What if Ahsoka just lives forever?
Oh, my God. I just straight up, dude. I wouldn't even know what to say again. I love Ahsoka. I know it sounds like I'm bashing Ahsoka.
No, I love Ahsoka. I love to listen. I'm so OG. I loved Ahsoka since the beginning when I was a little kid.
But listen, it's not an Ahsoka problem. It's a Dave Filoni problem.
Yeah, kill your characters, man.
Like, what's funny though is he's so prone. If you're a clone, you're fair game though. If you're a clone trooper, you're fair game.
If you're not named Rex, he's not going to die either.
If you're not named Rex, then if you are Rex or Ahsoka, you're done. You're done. Oh my God, my room is so much more echoey. I'm hearing it now. I'm sorry if I sound very echoey. I have nothing on my walls. So
Rex, you think we'll see him?
Sure, why not?
We'll see everybody.
Tamora Morrison was filming around this time, so you know what? I could see it. I could see it.
What else do we want to talk about from this trailer? I mean, the trailer to me
Inquisitor.
was not that good. Maybe it was because I was already so excited. Like I didn't need to see anything else.
Yeah, it
Oh, we saw
honestly.
a Purgle,
Yeah, I think honestly,
giant ass Purgle. That was cool.
I think what's going to be revealed is that the trailer footage that we saw was from the first 2 episodes. That's why they revealed it was a 2 episode premiere.
Right?
I'm trying to remember what recent series did that, where the trailer, the big second trailer was just footage from the first
I
two
think
episodes.
Mando was a Mando.
I don't remember.
Something.
Yeah. Inquisitor person.
Yeah. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up with that.
They named him. I don't remember what it was.
Merrick.
Yeah,
Isn't it like Merrick?
Marin or Merrick or something like that. Cool.
I don't know.
Look, it still looks very similar to the Eighth Brother.
Maybe.
Look, I gotta. I'm still trying to understand what Balin and Shin's purpose is.
Well, they work for Thrawn.
Yeah, presumably, yes. Also, Elsbeth is Force sensitive.
Is she?
guess.
I can't. Oh, okay.
We see her using the Force.
All I'm gonna say is Dathomir.
Oh yeah, I mean it was definitely like Night Sister magic, but I mean, hey, Night Sister magic is the Force still, so.
Okay, I'll tease this out. She's a Night Sister.
A Sister of the Night.
But the Night Sisters didn't originate on Dathomir. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
So, she is very powerful.
She didn't look very powerful.
Which is also like, why didn't she use it against Ahsoka? But
or why didn't she use it when she was taking over Fondor or whatever it was called?
Balin and Shin are interested. I don't know where the Inquisitor. Like, there's so many dark side users. Like, I don't know how they. I'm sure they're just all pawns of Thrawn. Do you think the Inquisitor could be Barriss?
No, because it's a guy.
Is it?
Because he's referred to as he.
Okay, not Barriss.
I think it honestly is probably just going to be revealed that it's the Eighth Brother. Because listen, in Star Wars, just like real life, there's death, taxes. Those are the two things in Star Wars. There is never falling from heights is actually death. And
there's death, taxes, and rebirth.
Yeah, in Star Wars. You're never really dead in Star Wars. I'm still waiting. I want one thing more than ever. Just because, I feel like if anybody Dave Filoni could pull off, I would want to see Luke Skywalker.
Oh, God.
Luke with 2 U's. I don't know.
No.
I'm excited to see. What, man? I gotta know. I got to know what Ahsoka was up to.
Yeah, I think that is a big question.
What if the excuse was she was asleep when when Mon Mothma called her and she didn't have her ringer on? That was the excuse.
We see Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
And this is like the opposite of Mon Mothma we see in Andor, kind of the downfall of Mon Mothma. Obviously, she's going to be the one that kind of... Obviously, there's a fleet. There's a New Republic fleet. I assume that they're not going to do anything.
And they're already using, They're already using the Resistance era stuff, too.
Are they?
Yeah, they're using Resistance X-Wings and A-Wings.
Interesting. Again, we don't know how far we are on the timeline because they haven't...
At this rate, honestly, who knows? We could be 10 years after The Mandalorian. Season 1.
I think it's probably 10 years post Return of the Jedi.
Who knows at this point, man? I mean,
make your minds up. That's all I can say. Make your minds up, story.
I'm super excited, man. I don't got much else to say about the trailer, but just in general, I am super excited with this show. The trailer didn't do much for me, like I said.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Thrawn, and all that, but
Yeah,
the
and again,
trailer didn't do much.
like I told you, he looked exactly like how I thought he would.
Yeah, cool to see Lothal.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Looks
Sabine
literally
Sabine.
looks literally ripped right out of the series. So
Yeah.
no,
I mean, it looked
no
great.
complaints for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got to say about the trailer. All right. Question of the week. This is a pretty intricate one, like last week. So for me, and I think for a lot of other people, and this applies to both Star Wars and Marvel. I think it's more so of a Marvel problem, and I think you would agree. I think there is a problem with these Disney Plus shows. I don't think they're captivating audiences. I don't think they're resonating with audiences. It's evident even in they've flat out said it that they're not reaching their subscriber goals. Really, they spend a lot of money on these shows and they're not seeing a return on investment like they do in movies. Should Marvel, Star Wars, and other studios in the Disney branch, specifically, we'll talk about, consider a new path, or should they just abandon this? Bob
Marvel,
Iger just got extended, so that's not going to happen. But I want to hear what you think they need to do, these companies,
Marvel
specifically
should
Marvel
stop.
and Star Wars.
Marvel needs to stop making these TV series. They're 9 out of 10 times really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars is fit for the TV model, but they need to return back to their movie format. I think the problem is that, like with Star Wars specifically, you got your head of creative, Dave Filoni. He's stretched too thin. And what happens? Well, the MCU happens. We saw it with Kevin Feige. That man was stretched so thin, the MCU lost its luster. It was no longer this A+ S tier series anymore. It quickly came down to maybe a B- overall franchise because it lost what made it special. And Star Wars, I'm not going to say Star Wars is losing that luster for me. Maybe it is for others. I get it if it is, get it if it's not. For me, Star Wars should focus more on the streaming side. I think if you look at it, Star Wars is always the best performing of the two marquee franchises for them. Star Wars does better numbers. The conversation's better. The conversation's longer. The conversation's louder.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel doesn't. And in my opinion, I think it's even fair to say Marvel with most of its movies, not all of it, most of them, I'd say they're bigger than Star Wars movies at points.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely.
So I think the problem is you have Disney trying to make Marvel what it's not. That's TV ready. It's not. There aren't many superhero shows that work. And there's a reason why. And it's because these stories, you got to think they're being pulled from comics. The average person probably reads an entire comic run. Like an average comic run for the Marvel comics is 8 to 15. It's about a day of reading. And these series are meant to be watched over 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work. You lose people. One bad episode could spell the disaster for a good show.
Right.
The reason why Moon Knight was so well received, though, was because there was not a single bad episode of the series.
Right.
There was something captivating.
Loki.
Not a bad episode. In my opinion, what started happening was Marvel was the true first person that really started this. Let's take this movie and make it into something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Star Wars began to hop on that bandwagon, and we see it. Fans backlash on it. And so I'm just like, personally, me speaking, if I were to have it be my way, Star Wars should continue to make TV series, because I genuinely think there's not a bad Star Wars series. Not
Bad, I agree.
There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of great ones. There's a lot of amazing ones. And there's no bad ones, because again, Star Wars is meant for the TV format.
Right.
Marvel,
it's a space western. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the 70s and 80s, all westerns.
Literally,
I think
yeah.
it just the
Yeah.
space that western works. Yeah.
Marvel is not. Marvel is meant to be this 2-hour sit down. It's supposed to feel like you are reading a comic run in one
An
sitting.
event. It's an event. Yeah.
It's an event. It's a thing that you're just like, okay, today I'm gonna read the House of M comics, or today I'm gonna watch Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That's my overall thoughts about it. Is Disney started? Disney, I applaud them for trying something new, but they've been told time and time again that didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. Stop trying this. It's still not working.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep on, no, it's working. It's working. We're getting Emmy Awards nominees. See, it's working. Don't ask how many people saw it though. That's not important. That's the kind of stuff that's going on right now, in my opinion.
Right. I think for me personally, I think Marvel has more of a problem than Star Wars. I will agree. I think Star Wars still has a problem.
Yeah.
I think most of the shows have been, I would say, good. Mando 1, 2, Mando 2, good. Andor, good. I think Kenobi, Boba Fett, and even Mando 3 to an extent have some problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think for them, I think they probably got to delve a bigger budget for their shows into the Disney Plus aspect. I think Andor, they talked about how expensive Andor was, being a practically shot thing. And Ahsoka looked great. We didn't even mention that. Yeah. But if we're going to deal these shows, make them big budget, make them look good. Especially if that's the route we're going to go in. If we're only going to have one movie a year, which I agree with, then make the television shows look really, really good.
Yeah.
Marvel. They got to do this. You do 1 or 2 Disney Plus shows a year like they did this year. Well, there's 3 technically. Or you make them movies. You make them Disney Plus movies. Because the problem for me is that, and I think a lot of people have this, is they're struggling to watch 6 to 8 episodes of this. It's a grind sometimes. Like She-Hulk was a grind. I'll never forget us talking about it. And I was going through my first couple of months of college when it was coming out. But I'll never forget we would sit and talk about it, and we could only talk about like 3 episodes for 12 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. We would have like 3.
Like if we ever talk about how short our Secret Invasion episodes are, or talks are, She-Hulk was shorter.
And that was multiple episodes we would talk about.
Yes, we would, and we would. It would be like sometimes we would be talking about like up to like 3 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
And there would be like smaller news topics that we talk about that would be longer.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think they got to go like the special presentation route. I personally love Werewolf by Night.
Yes,
I know it wasn't watched by a lot of people, but that's the way they got to go. And they got to make it mean something. Loki. Look at Loki. Loki is the best Marvel Disney Plus show, in my opinion. I think Moon Knight and WandaVision you can make a debate for.
Sure.
I would even make the argument Loki's the most important thing we've seen in this whole saga so far.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
You know why? Because it meant something.
Yeah.
Also, stop being cheap. Go and have like these big characters. Secret Invasion, literally, it's an Avengers level story, and it's not in this. It's not.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because these shows, they keep doing this. They keep writing movies for television, and it's just not working. They haven't figured out television. They have the movie formula. They can't figure out the television thing.
Yeah.
And how much longer can I wait? How much longer can we wait?
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's just like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And it's one of those things that, look, when we look at, let's use Star Wars. We look at Clone Wars specifically.
Mm-hmm.
It came after 3 very, 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 very poorly received movies.
Correct.
So what happened? Star Wars adapted.
Correct.
And then guess what happened when they tried to go back to the format that after fans grew accustomed to a series like Clone Wars, people pushed back. They talked about how safe it was. And then when The Last Jedi came out, that it was bad. And then when The Rise of Skywalker came out, okay, it was even worse. Solo, tanked in the box office. Rogue One was mediocre at best. Like when you find a mold, again, it's one of those things. Star Wars TV shows are almost never negatively reviewed in comparison to movies. Mm-hmm. In comparison to movies, you're always going to hear people say, well, Star Wars TV works. And the reason why it works for Star Wars is much more in depth. It's much more in depth, character driven. Where the MCU is more narrative driven. It's the overall story. And the problem is Kevin Feige has been somehow convinced that his story needs to be 5 hours long and not 2 hours long.
Right.
Somebody's genuinely convinced him. But you know what happened? When Dave Filoni's told, hey, I think you should make that longer. No, I think we should just make a different series then.
Right.
What's great about, in my opinion, I think, and this might sound controversial, and I need you to hear me out. I think Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Jon Favreau are a better head of their station than what Kevin Feige is. Because those three know what Star Wars is. And it's not that they don't try and push the mold. They obviously do. But what Kevin Feige does is when he pushes the mold and when he gets pushback for it, we're just wrong. We're just wrong. We don't understand it. And I applaud Kathy, John, and Dave more because you got to think, for a long time, Star Wars was a limp franchise, barely hanging on. Doors were barely staying open.
2019 was a bad year.
It was a bad year. The morale of the franchise, of the fans, was at an all-time low. And it had a glimmer of hope with The Mandalorian. And what happened? What happened when The Mandalorian was a success? Kathy promoted Dave and John.
Right.
What happened when Loki was a success? Nothing. We heard nothing about season 2 until this year.
Right. Waldron's not right in season 2. Waldron's working on other stuff.
Yeah.
You don't got the composer back. Music is such a big thing, and it was big in that show.
Mm-hmm. And even then, you want to know what's so funny? Is when people talked about in the Kenobi series, the music was not the best. It had some good soundtrack. And then here comes The Mandalorian season 3 with another great soundtrack.
Right.
It's one of those things that I think Star Wars specifically, or Lucasfilm, they're getting better at their reaction part of the fanbase. They're still not perfect. They still have they're still taking a lot of missteps, but they're getting better at it. What Kevin Feige and what Marvel does is they completely ignore them and they tell you that you're just wrong and you need to just wait.
Well, I even think the fans do, like when you talk to other fans online, I think sometimes, right, so frequently or not so frequently, we'll see conversations. Some fans are just like, just wait until we get to Kane Dynasty. And like, we have to wait.
It's one of those things though. It's just like
what are we waiting for?
Yeah, but to me, it's not even what are we waiting for. It's one of those things that it's just, sure, wait. Yes, we want to see the narrative through line. But the series itself isn't good. So how am I going to enjoy a payoff to trash? That's like.
But also,
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
continue. Go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say we're what 9 Disney Plus series in 10 maybe 9 8 9 10.
Yeah, something like that. Too many.
One or two
Yeah.
Loki and WandaVision have been super significant.
Yep. Moon Knight has been utterly disconnected. She-Hulk has been utterly disconnected.
Why
Hawkeye,
should I care if it's disconnected? Why? That's the big thing.
yeah,
If you're marketing as a cinematic universe, I have to know at least know when these characters are going to show up next or have an idea. I
yeah.
have no idea when Moon Knight's going to show up next. Do you?
No, no.
She-Hulk? Christ, even the Hulk?
Who knows at this point?
So
If
that's the thing. I think they just got to go to 1 or 2 special presentations a year. Like make Secret Invasion a 2-hour long Disney Plus movie.
sure, yeah. It's to me, it gets to a point where you're just like, what is the point of actually staying tuned anymore? If you genuinely take all of these Disney Plus MCU shows, again, 2 of them have been significant. There is no reason to watch Moon Knight, Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Echo. There's no reason to watch any of these shows. Any of them. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I guess you can make a little bit of argument for when Captain America 4 comes out. But like even then, when Thunderbolts come out, is Bucky's story and Falcon and the Winter Soldier going to be talked about? Probably not. So it's just like, if they're not important, what's the point? What's
Right.
the point of making them if they're not important? It's like one of those things, like I was gonna say. It's like if you are a chef and you're gonna talk about how I'm gonna make this big meal for you, and I bring something out, and you're like, "Oh, that's disgusting." You're like, I'm like, wait, you gotta wait until the whole meal comes out for you to like it.
Right.
You're like, no, but that part's not good though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna like the whole if this part's not good.
Right.
And I just keep just wait. The big question is going to come back. Wait for what?
Yeah.
If something's not good, and I'm telling you what's not good about it, I thought it was too salty. I thought it was too sweet or whatever. And your rebuttal is, dude, you just got to wait. Well, what are we working with here? What's the goal here?
Right.
That's what the MCU is in right now. It's in a thing of just wait. But for what?
I mean, and if we look at the docket ahead, right? We got Loki season 2. We're excited about that. Echo.
Yeah. What's the point?
Ironheart.
What's the point?
Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
Is that even still happening?
What I don't even know what else there is.
You got to think. What if season 2 was supposed to come out this year?
Yeah, never did. It's not going to.
Yeah, it is a funny thing that the MCU has gone.
Marvel's never going to scrap it. They're never going to. They can't scrap Disney Plus because it's a quota for them. They have to do it. They have to do it. And they're probably never going to do the movie or special presentation thing because they have to keep subscribers on board.
Yeah.
But if they want to succeed, they got to do the movie thing, the special presentation thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just one of those things that in my opinion, you just, man, you got to just do what works.
Yeah.
Like there was no point to switch. There was no point.
Right.
There was no point also to give us 80 projects a year.
Right.
But here we are.
Well, it goes back to the thing you said about Feige. I really feel like post Phase 4, Feige was way over ambitious and was like, here, let's play a game of darts, but let's shoot 15 darts at once. We'll still hit the board. We'll still get a bullseye maybe, but we're not going to have the precise target that we were hitting with phases 1 through 3.
Mm.
And now you see them retroactively. And I think the last year and a half or so, maybe, I would say probably by December, we'll start to see the changes, right?
Mm.
In I think 2024 is a real big year for them with quality control, because they saw it wasn't working in 21 and 20, even 22. They kind of have reset. They still got to release the stuff they've got. But I'm curious. I just think they haven't figured out the television show thing.
Mm.
It's also difficult because I don't honestly with the shows. I don't think they're getting the best quality of writer. If I'm gonna be honest with you,
Yeah, but it's
and
also that goes back to like the whole writing strike problem.
right,
Writers' rooms are being significantly shrunk. Writers then aren't being brought back when rewrites need to happen, and on the
right,
fly rewrites are having to be made by people who didn't write the show.
right.
And so it's just like it's hard. It's hard to be like even like remotely feel bad for these studios.
Mhm.
Like it's hard to remotely feel at all bad because you're just like, you know what? Like if you guys just like use like a little bit of logic and reason, you wouldn't be in this problem. You wouldn't be in this mess right now.
Right.
You'd actually be in potentially a good spot. But here you are, not in that spot anymore.
I agree. You know, I just, my final thoughts really on this is, or just, I hope that they look at this for future phases and future sagas, and they say, hey, if we're gonna make this thing matter, we got to do stuff that matters, like WandaVision right into Doctor Strange, Loki,
Yeah.
Into, or really the introduction of the multiversal saga.
Hmm.
They got to start doing that. I'm not interested in as much as I love Moon Knight, I'm not interested in seeing a bunch of character studies, because for every one good one, there's been 5 bad ones.
Yeah.
So I think they got to change that. I would love if they did the special presentation thing moving forward, but it's not going to happen probably logistically. And I think Star Wars is okay. I just think Star Wars needs to up their quality a little bit.
Yeah.
You
I
got
think
any
Star
final
Wars,
thoughts?
yeah. No, I agree. I think Star Wars is in a good spot right now. I just think their quality control needs to be better. I think Marvel's in a rough spot right now. Rough spot.
I mean, I'm looking at. I mean, Daredevil. We're obviously excited for. I mean, Wonder Man, like
Yeah.
Vision Quest, like, dude,
Can't say I'm excited about that.
can't say I'm excited about it. Okay, well, we got one more topic, and I'm excited about this one. We got some set photos
Of
Daredevil,
Deadpool 3.
and here is a high quality picture of Hugh Jackman.
He looked kind of weird in it, not gonna lie.
You think so? 1 second, let me get a better one here.
He doesn't look weird. Maybe weird was a little rude.
He looks great.
Just looks strange seeing like an actual like comic accurate suit.
It does look so weird. The suit itself looks great.
Yeah.
And I like the sleeves. Obviously, believe Hugh Jackman is very susceptible to skin cancer, so I believe this is why they did that for him. Dude, the claws, the dude.
I know.
Dude, it's so incredible. That this is the costume.
What a world we live in. What a world we live
I
in.
freaked out when I saw this.
Dude, it's insane because you know what? We were just dogging on the MCU, but their costumes are top notch.
Oh, absolutely.
Their costumes do be top notch though.
Now there are some other things I want to go over from, because basically the whole like fight scene leaked. We won't show that, but we'll show some other pictures and some other interesting things that I thought were interesting from the set. So we have kind of a nice little gag here. I think you're going to know what I'm going to talk about. The 20th Century Fox logo. I think that's very funny.
Very funny.
So this is the Void
I guess.
from Loki.
That's funny. It's funny that the 20th Century Fox.
That's so meta. That's so meta. That's so funny. We know Owen Wilson's going to be in this movie as Morbius.
Mobius and Mobius.
What do we think about them being in the Void?
Interesting.
Yes.
Maybe we'll see some Loki variants. Maybe.
Also, is the Void now absent of
Elias?
Eliath?
Maybe. Could you imagine we go to the Citadel and Kang is still just dead on the floor? His body just
And then
never
just
decomposed.
Deadpool is just like, I wonder what happened here.
I don't know. I'm very nervous about Deadpool.
Like the movie itself?
The fans. I'm
Why?
very nervous the series or the movie's gonna get Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, because of like the hype.
The rumored cameos. Everyone's rumored to be in the movie. Drew, did you know you were rumored to be in that movie too?
I'm in the movie, guys.
You're gonna
I'm
be
in the
playing.
movie.
You're gonna be playing Thor.
Whoa.
I know. And my source told me.
My source told me you were in the film too.
What? As who?
As Sabretooth.
Oh my god. How'd you know?
That's what my source told me. No, literally everybody's in this movie.
Everyone.
The old Fantastic Four, possibly.
Mhm.
Magneto. The Illuminati's back. A new Illuminati. We know Ben Affleck's in it as as a Daredevil.
Yep.
Elektra.
Mhm.
I mean, this movie's gonna be very meta with the jokes, and I get that. I like that. That's Deadpool. That's very funny in nature. And honestly, this movie is gonna be funny as shit, but will probably move the MCU more forward than any other movie has.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest. So them being in the Void is interesting. The TVA, seeing the TVA again, very cool. And again, it shows this is what happens when you have a through line with your story. All right, we'll share some more pictures here.
Listen, all I'm saying, okay, is if you want to know how I'm feeling, just play the song "Exile" by Taylor Swift and go to 1:47.
We got claws in the head. Never thought I would say that line.
It's funny because the picture makes it look like the guy's holding up
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
It looks like he's holding them up, even though it's just a boom mic.
It's so funny watching them because like when we see it on screen, it's gonna be so much faster. But like it's so funny watching them fight because it's so slow, and I'm like, oh my god, acting's gotta be so difficult.
Hold on, wait. Because you know what? I know the exact thing. Hold on.
I'm talking about.
Wait. Let me see. Oh my god. Here, I'm gonna share my screen real quick because this is what it's gonna look like. I don't know if you've seen this video before. Hold on. Here we go. This is from. This is what it's gonna look. And look, this is what it looks like in reality. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, it's funny. Okay.
It's funny.
That's what it looks like.
It does.
So stupid. Oh wow, he's doing a backflip. Do you think that's Reynolds in the suit doing these stunts?
I don't know, honestly. There was another one. I can't find it, but like his like Deadpool's arm comes off.
But see, my thing though is this: why is Wolverine not wearing his helmet?
Oh, he has the helmet. He's just not wearing it.
Why not?
Also, I have another question.
Okay.
So, okay. Deadpool gets pruned, obviously, right? Because of probably the shenanigans he pulls at the end of Deadpool 2, right? With him going back in time with Cabal's time traveling machine, Thingamabob.
Yeah.
And that's going to get him in trouble. Okay. Why is Wolverine there? What happened with his...
Hear me out. 838 Wolverine.
I'd like that.
838 Wolverine.
But also, like, I just have so many questions because, like, is the explanation going to be, okay, why does the TVA still exist?
We got to think A-King is running it right now.
But how?
Probably Victor Timely. And you got to think because, like, think about the end of Loki season 1 when Loki goes back into that new back to the TVA. It's right. King is openly running it.
Right. Yeah, I guess. So, like, in a different timeline, the TVA exists.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's very confusing. I don't know this. I'm not good with that stuff.
Wonky wizardry.
Okay, so Wolverine gets pruned. We get Wolverine. So I'm assuming the Morbius we're going to see is not the Morbius we know. Different variant.
Mobius.
Oh my god, did I say Morbius?
Morbius. This guy's not a vampire.
Mobius is a different variant of the one we see in Loki.
Yes. Oh my god. Hold on. Wait. I know. I'm really bad. Okay. Listen. Just wait. Hold on. I gotta find this video. But yes. I think it's gonna be. Hold on. I gotta find the video. Hold on.
And then while you're doing that, Claws.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Yeah, I didn't see this picture. Wait. Yeah, hold on. Oh.
Claws. The claws are out. This is going to be a great fight. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
I love these two. I think these are two, Hugh and Ryan are two fantastic actors. And I'm excited to see their camaraderie in this movie. And I'm excited for, a lot of this movie is going to leak because a lot of it's practical.
Yeah.
This was shot just in London. I have, we kind of have an idea of the plot of this movie. They're going to go around into the X-Men universes and clean them up, I guess. Magneto might be like the ruler of the 838 now, like something like that, maybe, which I think is all dope. I'm going to add this in a second, but what do you think about that possibility of, are you excited? Do you want, I'm more into leaks than you are, but do you want to see more of this stuff? Would you be like upset if you saw like Magneto like fighting Wolverine in a leak?
Listen, because in a leak, yes, but in actuality, no, because that would mean we're probably getting the House of M universe, the universe where the mutants on top, baby.
I think you'll probably see something like that. All right, here we go. Funny gag.
Yeah, so this was the other clip I was thinking about.
Okay, here we go.
This is why, listen, folks, this is why you don't judge any kind of pre-VFX. Because
right.
This is, hold on. This is this. That's the Flash for you. Just... Sorry. That clip always, that and that Supergirl clip always just lives in my head. That's why you can't judge. Listen, don't judge a movie on its pre-VFX. Okay, it's not fair. It's not fair.
I'm also excited for this movie in the sense that, like, when they fight, it's gonna be very violent, obviously,
Oh
because like he
yeah,
literally sticks his claws in his head. It's a rated R movie too, so that's like
yeah. And we've been told that it's in line with the other two Deadpool movies.
right.
So just saying, not
I
that
think
Mark.
it's gonna be the first. I think it's gonna break 1 billion. I think it's gonna be the first rated R movie to break 1 billion.
I hope. I hope.
My ass will be in the seat the first night. So
Oh, absolutely. I'm interested though to see how they tie it to the MCU.
mm,
Like I'm talking, and what I mean by that is the other two movies, because the other two movies are not MCU canon,
right.
but the third one is.
Well, technically, Toby and Andrew are MCU canon, but their
Yeah,
movies aren't.
their movies are on a technicality MCU canon. I think that's what they're gonna do here too.
Right.
I think they're on a technicality, but they are not based in the MCU timeline.
Now, what if I hypothetically told you that at the end of the movie, for some reason, I can't say the exact reason, Wolverine and Deadpool are just dropped into the 616? How would you feel about that?
I could have easily told you that was gonna happen.
But how would you feel? And this is a theory. How would you feel if Hugh Jackman Wolverine was the one that was going out to find the mutants of our universe?
That's how I feel.
That's good. I'm so excited to see Hugh Jackman. I think I need to watch the X-Men movie. I haven't really watched the X-Men movies. I've kind of watched some of them, kind of haven't,
No, I'll pass.
because I'm confused as fuck on the timeline. I have no idea how it works.
You're confused. Think about the people who made it. They're confused too.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't
I'm
know.
excited. I'm excited to see Patrick Stewart again.
Yeah, listen, just stop getting so overexcited about things you don't know that are happening. And then again,
I don't know if I'm excited about seeing the Illuminati again. They were
And then-
probably my least favorite part of Multiverse of Madness, if I'm being honest with you.
and then listen, and then you don't have to go to a minute 47 in the song "Exile" by Taylor Swift. Okay, then we don't got to do that. Okay, just keep your expectations appropriate.
Let's do that. Let's learn our lesson from Multiverse of Madness.
Yep, because if you remember, we had actual idiots on the internet saying that Multiverse of Madness was a bad movie because it didn't feature some of the cameos they wanted.
Correct. It was still a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie for what it was. Yes, if we had all the cameos we wanted, it would have been an S tier movie, but
I think Deadpool will pull through, but we'll see.
I do too. I'm excited to see what they do.
I am as well. Alrighty. Let's wrap this thing up. You got anything else to say?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll be back next week for episode 100. 1-0-0.
Woo!
As always, may the force be with you, and may you stay burdened with glorious purpose. We will see you next week. Peace out, everyone.
Bag that bitch.